1, 2, 3. The steps, baby, it takes to chase with me. The stream that we have both made will run from ocean to ocean. We'll run from ocean to ocean.
Good morning. I'm the Shasta one. I feel the need to say that out loud because, well, it's been a little bit, hasn't it? I'm here where my ultramarathon journey all began about 1 year ago at Big Hill Pond State Park in southwest Tennessee, just north of the Mississippi border. And what am I doing? Well, in 4 weeks, I'm running the 50-mile man against horse in Prescott, Arizona. Don't call it Prescott, it's Prescott. And I need to practice using my new hiking poles. So I'm doing a 22 to 23 mile race simulation on one of the few courses here in southwest Tennessee that actually has big enough hills to climb with poles. I'm really curious to see how I attack this thing compared to where my fitness was at last year. I think I've improved a little bit. I've set up a route. I'm gonna loop back here after about 15 miles to access my drop bag, which is basically just here to give me fresh gels, I should say. I'm using precision gels at the moment, and also to refill my flasks. It is 7 a.m. and it's already about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll put Celsius up here somewhere probably. And yeah, it's gonna top out at about 90 degrees, so it's gonna be a hot one. So without further ado, I'm gonna get started. Just entered the Fox Hollow Trail, and this is freshly graveled since last year. Double checking my map, and I'm definitely on the right course. It's gonna be fun to do like an A and B test. See what's changed the past year. Well, this bodes well for my history on this course. The track that I have, which is based on the previous year's Walking Tall 25K course, at least for the first 25K, and now just kind of leads off into the woods. I'm gonna do a little recon. This is gonna slow down my race sim a little bit. All right, it took a couple of minutes of hemming and hawing and bushwhacking through the woods, but this looks like trail, and maybe most importantly, it looks like trail that I remember. So, oh yeah, we're back to it. It is so quiet out here this morning. Whew. My analysis so far is that this is a tougher piece of terrain than the Caney Fork 50K that I ran back in March. Those climbs and descents, the steep ones tended to come all at once, where these opening 3 miles have all just been these short, chippy rollers. But it has been more of a challenge, which might make the back half of this video really interesting. Sweet. It's been a nice runnable section here. I remember this. It's got a little marshy back there. This guy was at the top of the hardest climb of the course last year. Now my lucky Irish Bigfoot, right next to the railroad. I just need 3 more friends and I can recreate Stand By Me. I know I made that joke last time I was here. It never gets old. I love that movie. Just climbed the first of probably 3 hills that I really brought the trekking poles for today. And I gotta admit, it was nice. I think there'll be a wise investment for when I'm climbing Mingus Mountain in 28 days. Hey, but who's counting? I had a nice flow going. Miles like 4 through 7. I'm still kind of feeling it. Gotta make sure I don't push it though, because, you know, there's still 15 miles to go. Oh lordy, once again, who's counting?
Wilson, last time I saw you, I was in a very bad way. I'm feeling better this time. I'm actually getting some light rain right now on this back loop, which was unexpected. If my forecast is even more wrong, about a mile up ahead, there's some of those free access cabins up along the trail that I could take shelter in. But outside that, I would just kind of be boned. But wait, this one is painted lifelike. Oh yeah. You never know where Sasquatch might be lurking, brother. Anyway, here comes that big climb. I am past the big climb, and let me tell you, those poles are awesome. I get them. I understand it now. Here's that aforementioned cabin. It's since stopped raining, so I'm just gonna let it be. The number one benefit so far from the run this morning, it's not the poles. It's about how desensitized I now am to spider webs. Usually they like catch me off guard a little bit, surprise me, just like, bleh! Nice city boy reaction for someone raised in the country, I know. But out here, I am a certified spider home wrecker, and I'm shameless about it. I've just been plowing through them, and it's just, whatever, man. It's part of it. Embrace it. Anyway, I'm gonna run this. We have emerged back to Railroad, and next is that climb right there that you probably can't even see on the camera yet. Azalea Spring, huh? Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. This is so short and steep. Pulls aren't worth it. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, original Sasquatch. Number 3 on my journey. May there be many more to bless my travels. Whew, that took it out of me. I beat that train by maybe 4 minutes. This is the infamous Swamp Boardwalk where I dropped my phone during the race last year. I'm gonna maintain a pretty tight grip on the GoPro as we navigate this. This does give me a nice flat place to reflect on man against horse. So my upcoming race, October 19th in Prescott, Arizona, 50 miles, really 47 if the Strava map is to be believed, and it's people against other people who are on horseback. It's funny, I first heard about this race, in the end of 2019 when I was not running. It was a Radiolab episode about notable ultra runner Nick Curry beating all the horses for the first time in the race's long and illustrious history, going back to like 1983. And I remember I was eating my lunch in my car alone, chuckling to this episode and thinking, who would ever do that? Who would run 50 miles, let alone against horses? And then 5 years later, here I am doing that very race. It's so weirdly full circle, like it was meant to be. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm intimidated by it because it's got a hard 12-hour cutoff for those 47 to 50 miles. That was originally my goal time. And that comes out to about 15-minute miles, keeping in mind that we're climbing up and down Mingus Mountain, which I've never done before. Climbed up and down a mountain. I feel better about it now with the hiking poles, but everything's intimidating until you try it. So here's to me and my sister going out there and making that mountain a little less intimidating. So I'm a little over 12 miles in and I'm feeling cooked. I got another 10 miles to go. This is the difficult part of these runs. It's where I gotta listen to the voice in my head telling me to stop. And I, in this moment of impaired judgment, have to make the call whether that voice is correct or being overprotective. Here's the options that I'm weighing while I'm just lowering my heart rate a little bit here, hopefully finding my mojo again. I could, because this is something I've been struggling with. So this is going to be my biggest month ever if I complete all the mileage on my training plan. The biggest month, distance-wise, time-wise, that I've ever done by a decent margin. So I run the risk of overtraining, of course, which I did last summer once, doing a Fitz marathon plan. And it's not a great feeling. Basically, I don't want to gas my legs 4 weeks before the biggest race of my life. However, I also don't want to listen to that voice in my head that says you can't. Like, part of why I enjoy ultra running is that it kind of just strips away all the bullshit around you, and you're just left with your most base, ugly, sometimes, self. And I enjoy that. Like, that's a monster that I want to confront. Because, you know, I do have a pretty negative person at the core of me sometimes. And I don't want to battle that person necessarily, because that's still me. But I also want to maybe gently guide it towards a healthier direction, so we can kind of live in harmony. I understand it's trying to take care of me, but also sometimes it just prevents me from achieving my goals. And I'm just learning how to walk that line. I'm not there yet, but runs like this are part of that process. I'm fairly certain. So, whew, I'm gonna put the camera down and watch my step. But that's what I'm thinking about right now, and I want to make sure I had that down. Now tell me, would it be wise to climb a fire watch tower? Well, I'm kind of running for pace. Well, I have to climb this during the race, so a guy oughta. I can feel this whole thing shake underneath me with each step. That is so unsettling. Oh, wow. Well, even if the rest of the run is a bust, getting back up here was worth it. "13 miles in, I am out of liquids, and I'm looking forward to that pit stop. I am feeling better. I think that quote-unquote rest up the 81 steps of the fire tower back there brought me back to life a little bit, which I guess goes to show you that there really are just ebbs and flows of these longer trail runs. Time to turn them around, always. Surprise! Just up ahead on the trail. And up a nice climb. Please work. Oh yeah. Let's see how bad this tastes. No cloudiness, no discoloration like the drinking fountain at Meme and Shelby. Oh. Incredible. I've got a gallon of water waiting for me back at my car, a couple of miles ahead. But this water might taste even better than the bottled stuff. Onwards and upwards, and probably downwards, and then upwards again. "17 and a half miles in, that's about 2 more than the course predicted. I still have about 7 miles of predicted course left, which means probably like 8. I don't want to do more than I intended, so I think I'm going to take the remaining course, get to halfway of my remaining distance, and just turn it into an out and back. I think that's the way to do it. I'm going to drink this entire soda. I don't even care. This is me still weighing whether I want to run the last 5 miles or not. It becomes less likely the more time I spend just standing here. Well, I gotta at least attempt it, right? Yep, that's the Coke. Can't believe I drank a whole bottle back there, but I tell you what, I got less than 2 minutes back on the road before I felt like I was flying, dude. I feel so good. So maybe the lesson here is I really should have caffeine in my gels again, because that really does seem to be my secret weapon. That's a note for today. Caffeine is what's gonna get me up that damn mountain. Woo! Flying. Literally, as soon as I turned the camera off, that's a downpour above me. And more spider webs. But it's not really reaching me down here yet. Sure sounds nice. All right, now it's really starting to come down. Not a downpour, but definitely not sprinkling anymore. And I'm loving it, dude. The vibes are back. Thank you, based caffeine. Thank you, based rain. The trail delirium is setting in, and I love it. Oh, good. See that? Yeah? Hope I find some horses. We doing Taylor Swift proud today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not talking about cheering for the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm not even really talking about anything relevant to her. This is a pretty loose connection, but we are at the turnaround point, which on the left there is 1989. Hey, pop culture relevance, I did it! Woo! Let's get back to the car and end this run. 21 miles in, and I am on the way back to the car to end this run slash hike. You know, something in between. But I think I've got some good takeaways from this. One is that I'm not Superman. I've been doing like 60 to 75 mile weeks, which is a bit high for me. And I can't just magically recover in 2 days and take on a 22 mile race effort, especially on what would count as challenging terrain for me. The next is that caffeine is God, and I should use it more often during races. I haven't been doing that lately. And another is that trekking poles. Look, I'm team cheater pole now. Like, this is the first time I really got to use mine, and they are awesome. That's it. We're calling it. 5 hours and 11 minutes. Not great. Oh well. Maybe I went into this with inflated expectations, but I finished it. And hey, maybe that's the most important part. It's a piece of data. And it's also really great being back in Big Hill Pond. Despite the horseflies and mosquitoes, I didn't get bothered by them too much. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for coming along with me. And I'll see you in 4 weeks for the big race. Take care of yourselves out there. Love one another. Yeah, love one another. I'm the Shasta one. Subscribe if you would like. If not, I'm gonna keep making them anyway. And have a fantastic day.